All right, welcome back to the Pennsylvania and Berwind. This is episode 15. It's hard to believe. And we are picking up exactly where we left off in the last episode with just a few switching tasks that we were working on, if you will recall. One of which is, of course, the Highland Brewery, which you see right here. Let's see if did I actually couple there? Seems like not. Now we have. And yeah, we are picking up some of these cars, center flow cars, covered hoppers, which are filled with spent grains, brewers' spent grains, and we are going to be taking them over to Universal Sugar. That's right, Universal Sugar, someplace we have not yet been. Which is one of the consumers of spent grains. And there's another spent grain car that's going to be going to Shawnee Team Track. And this is one of the areas where the spreadsheet is a little bit messy because it's not very adept at handling the situation where, there's a randomness. And sometimes the randomness selects an industry to receive something, and it also selects another industry to output something, and those two don't necessarily match. So in this case, we have a little bit more demand on the route for spent grains than this brewery is going to provide. So we're going to be bringing some other spent grain onto the map. And that's been the case since the playthrough began, but that's okay. We can deal with it. It is, I think, prototypical that sometimes the outputs and inputs on the map don't exactly match, although I think this would be a one where it wouldn't be so bad if they did match, but that's fine. So in terms of what I'm doing here, I'm just going to spot one more car to pick up more brewers' grains. And I think something that happened was that initially not all of the train car assets that I created were configured to accept all the products that the map originally had that they needed to accept. So I'm not 100% sure if all these cars are going to be correctly accepting brewer spent grains, but if they don't, that's no problem. We can just forcibly intervene to make sure they do accept it. So yeah, then we will have 11 cars with brewer spent grains. All of those 11 will be going to Universal Sugar, and then there will be one additional that will be going to Shawnee Team Track. And since we're here, it's really almost not even worth mentioning, but you may have noticed that there is a very slight change, which is now the white line goes outside of the track, meaning that we were not blocking traffic after all. It just didn't make sense to me that white line was guiding traffic to follow the tracks in. And yes, it has been a great joy and privilege, I think, to play this route and to enjoy it and show it off, I hope. And making small changes also, I think, really helps me enjoy the route, and I hope it helps you see sort of something about how you can be flexible and add some more functionality into your routes. You don't have to just accept them as they are. It might be obvious, but some people might be only into playing through routes, and I don't know, to each their own. I think it's this Great Northern on the end that's just going to need to be filled up, so I'm just going to spot that car right in the center because we don't need anything else to be handled. All the other cars are full. So that's that, and I am going to save it briefly. Okay, so here we are in Huskins, and we have plenty more to do, and I knew that this was going to be the case, that I did not set these up to load while moving because I don't think that these cars would load while moving, if I'm not mistaken. And I did make a few edits to hopefully make this area a little bit smoother and to make sure all these tracks are working correctly, which we'll see if indeed they are working correctly. If they're not, the more adjustments necessary. We do need, I believe, 20 cars of limestone and I think 12 cars of sand. That looks pretty good to me. Don't know why we lost control there. Somewhat suggests that this track is not working exactly correctly. It's not the way that I thought it would. So we really shouldn't lose control. It's one of the aspects of the MI2 is that you're not supposed to lose control. Yep. Weird. Don't know what to do about that. We do have plenty of space. And let's just, while we're watching this, let's just check out where Adair has gotten to. And my thinking here is that we would sort of wait until Adair was off the map. Now, is Adair actually moving, though? It's possible some trains are actually stopped for some reason. Okay, let's jet over to Adair and see what Adair is up to. So indeed, Adair has stopped. Now this is very strange because Adair was moving the last time I checked in on him, which was today, earlier today. But it does appear to have stopped, so it's okay. Adair is quite simply leaving the map. Okay, back at Highland, and looks like we are all loaded up at Highland. So let's see if we are able to pull the whole train. Do you think that the whole train will fit? If the whole train fits, that would be better, because what we really want to do is we want to get the whole train out of the way so that we can start pulling the wheat cars in. And I don't think that this whole train is going to fit here, that's for sure. Question is, where will it fit? I suppose that I could put them in here, but yeah, I think we might want to do that. That would be the faster solution, I would say. Yeah, and I don't think the whole train is going to fit there, and we might as well start to move these cars out onto out into this little yard here at Highland. I mean, it's always a trade-off, right? If you do something fast, if you take a shortcut now, that just leads to taking more time later, then it's probably not worth doing, especially if it's the same engineer. Things that are going to be happening in the same sequence. Okay, let's put these here. Grab the next set. Probably could have grabbed them all at once, but I think this will be better. Again, just service roads, don't need to worry about horns here. Maybe the brewery is not open for tasting right now, although it is 4. I think this would be a pretty good time for people to be dropping by for a little beer tasting. Perhaps next time we come by, there will be some actual people hanging out. Who can say? It's possible. And yes, shadows are starting to get long, and I suspect that the day will soon end. And when the day does end, we'll be starting a new day, of course, this episode. And when we start that new day, we will be getting a list of new tasks that will be added, the daily tasks that have to be done. Now, I'd like to go over here because there are some other cars here at this track. I wonder if they are all unloaded. I don't think so. See where Adair has gotten to. At least you can tell he's moving, you know, it's these little mini maps in this corner here. It's just sort of a minor flickering that enables you to tell when somebody's moving. I don't know why they wouldn't think of the idea of including the speed or some other information on the status in these types of windows. It does say the status navigate to, so at least that part is there. Unfortunately, I can't zoom out far enough to see how far he is from Grafton. I know he's close, because he started out pretty darn close. I really hope all of these cars can fit. We are going to be tight, though. There's no clearance. No way. Can do it any other way than the way I'm doing it right now. Okay, nobody derailed. That's good. Yeah, that's pretty pathetic standard to have, but it was a question. Let's just stop here. Decouple. See when we cross this switch here, we can back up. And I guess I could have stopped it a little bit earlier. Okay, let's just see how many more things we're going to have to do here and how feasible that's going to be. Huh, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. Seems like it might be multiple moves, though. And right now we're doing the Highland Brewery, and we're doing Huskins, so we've got enough. We're not going to come back and work on the oil yet. guess you're starting to see some signs of it being more towards dusk now in the skybox there. Definitely the kind of hazy white of the mountains in the background would indicate more of a dust feeling. I think it's difficult for the skybox to handle the fact that it might be getting towards the evening. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works. Not super important either. Yeah, so we've delivered the barley, we picked up some spent grains, and now we're delivering the wheat. Wheat cars that had been stored just temporarily in this little track here by the Avery Suites, but they weren't actually being delivered there. Folks at Suites and the Highland Brewery, they have to cooperate a little bit because their track layout is a little bit suboptimal. And if you watch the Approach Medium series, I highly recommend the Brewery and Avery Suites episodes as really some of the top episodes in terms of creativity and showing the thinking that goes behind this route. Speeding slightly here. Not likely to get in trouble though. I think it's going to be useful to drop the caboose here. Not to take the caboose into the brewery itself. This will also be a good chance to kind of figure out how things are fitting overall in terms of this track, if I can actually fit this whole train. Yeah, it seems like I have more than enough space. Could even pull forward on this other track that might be slightly longer with the curve there. Don't really know. But I don't think it's a problem. We have nothing to worry about, essentially. There's just some very blue crates, and maybe in this light they're particularly blue looking. Actually, it looks like you can even see what the label is on them. Are they called Share or Shep? Well, Shep, we hardly knew you. Actually, here's some sort of announcement. I've never noticed that before. It's faint enough that I don't think it's going to be audible on the recording because I can barely hear it. Must be associated with some asset here. Maybe some of these factory pipe asset, maybe? I don't know. Something over here, perhaps? Don't know. Should be looking good. Shall we decouple here? Actually, it looks like these have barley, so I must have actually unloaded the wheat. Anyway, doesn't matter. We knew that all these cars had to get unloaded here. Come on. Okay, Adair. Adair is gone. Adair has arrived. So that means we are basically ready for the next turn. So as soon as we finish backing up here, it will advance to a new day. And we will be able to find out what those new daily tasks are. Check out exactly where we're getting to here. Stop it on a dime. Looking good. Oh, that is perfect. So is it 6 cars each side? Looks like it. Okay. Okay. So we will put you on pause and bring you back momentarily. All right, we are back with Amy, and Amy is coming on with a bunch of tank cars with sugar and empty bulkhead flats. They're going to be heading to Grafton. Sugar is heading to Highland. Avery Sweets needs more sugar, even though they already had sugar delivered. And then we have behind there, I think we have some gondolas heading to the Allegheny steel mill. And then we have some potash. So all of these are going to be today tasks that are going to be taken care of from the Juniata side. And then, of course, we have Adair coming back onto the map with a new train as well. Most of that train consists of boxcars that are heading towards Juniata, where they will be delivering some more paper. So many today tasks. Now, I think that I had said previously that the number of today tasks was pretty large last round, and my interpretation is that might not be accurate, that maybe this spreadsheet is set up to give us a lot more tank cars than a lot more today tasks than I had expected, and a lot more than are expected on the Wallace branch especially. So, to be determined. So with all of that going on, they are going to take a while to get onto the map. They are coming each from the side, from Grafton, from Juniata, and if you may recall, I have added quite a bit of distance onto the map so that their arrival is going to be considerably longer than it would have been before. So what that means is I am going to come back here to Jessica. Jessica, of course, is working Huskins. Wow, it sure does look different in the morning than it does in the evening. And yes, that whole losing control of the train aspect is something that I need to look into. Let's see what that is saying. Highland Brewing IB Green. Okay, I wonder if those are going to be done shortly. Of course, you would expect with the new day. Maybe you have to imagine that actually the reason why it is not already unloaded is that, they have kind of a 9-to-5 operation, so stop unloading the car. Seems unlikely, but possible, perhaps. Imaginable. Okay, we're gonna have to go get more cars here because let's see how many limestone do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need 11 more. Not bad, not bad. Making progress. Since we came back, I have not seen any traffic on this road. I wonder if the traffic has gone away or if it's just a very lightly trafficked road. I would like it if it were more of a lightly trafficked road. One car every 10 minutes seems about right. I don't think there are any assets that are actually programmed like that, though, probably. You see some activity back here. I wonder if I need 10 more or is it 12 more? In any case, I'm going to pick up that whole string of covered hoppers there in the background. Because I don't see any downside. It does still have traffic. That's good. That's what you like. A couple of black Conrail SD 40-2s. X-Pen Central, obviously. Just been very quickly stenciled with the CR for Conrail. Looks like it didn't quite clear that. Some switches with a little bit longer clears on this in this general area. And presumably some very bad traction conditions, although I haven't seen any evidence of that. How would I see evidence of it? I suppose by derailing, so I'm glad not to have seen the evidence, but still. I think the speed limits do reflect what they were originally, so I'm going to assume that that's good enough. Just before I start speeding in actuality. I think we're going to go into this far track here. Should be good, should be reasonable. Just admiring some of these assets. Now, is this car probably blowing water here? Kind of interesting. I had never noticed that. Some tight turns here. And I think what we can do probably is back up all the way in. Sort of the opposite of the way that I did it last time, where I was blocking the road maximally. Yeah, this will be nice. We'll be able to get out of the way of traffic, I think. I'm pretty sure we will, at least in the initial fill. Oh, but traffic is moving anyway. Well, let's not watch it. That's where we're going to stop, because I think we're pretty darn close. Some cars got in there. Okay, let's go back to Highland, find out what's going on at Highland. Not sure if that's filling or not. Just quickly view that car. Oh, it is filling. Okay, good. Okay, it looks like we have filled up a little bit too much on the spent grains, and it looks like one of the cars has not actually unloaded either. So let's see if we can do it this way. Eagle's here. Eagle, welcome indeed. I think I'm going to decouple here. So the barley will have been taken care of. Try to get that roughly even. See if that does the trick. Yeah, I think I adjusted this so that basically it was able to load and unload the same car, but the result is that then all cars that unload would automatically load up with spent grains. Not what I wanted. Okay, so next for just a little bit, something we need to take care of, I believe, is it Tyler? Yes, I think it's Tyler. So I'm pretty sure that Tyler needs to go to Glosser Brothers. Yes. So I think this somehow got zeroed out completely. Old Town? No. It's certainly around here somewhere. Maybe it's just navigate to Glosser Brothers. Now, since the last episode, I did actually replace the engine spec for the RS1, Alco RS1. Won't actually replace their acceleration with anything faster, but it will improve their braking ability, I believe. Sometimes I do think what happens is that if you change the characteristics of a car and you don't put it down again, it might not fully take. I'm not sure. So how far is that yet to go? It's a couple miles, I guess. So we're going to go check out where Adair has gotten to. Looks like Adair is still at the early stages of navigating that part of the route. And the same thing is true for Amy. So it's working as designed. So yeah, fair amount of shunting in this episode. Which gives me a chance to look at the spreadsheet. So yeah, we are up to total tasks, 36. Seems like there should be more than that. "17 empties plus 19 full tasks." Okay, well. So new today tasks that were added is Grafton Steelworks, 9 flat cars needed to pick up pipes. 9 tank cars to deliver sugar to Avery. We've got the Allegheny Steel Mill, additional 14 empties needed. And we have covered hoppers for Juniata, for Briars Green. Is that it? No. We also have the wheat. Oop, did I go too far? I don't think so. Yeah, Agway wheat, which will be coming from Briars, and then I think we have the paper delivery, right? I don't see it. It's not taking it. Yeah, 22 boxcars for... you know, I thought I adjusted these... oh, it is taking. Okay. No, it's skipping it. Don't skip it. Fine. Micromanagement. That's the problem with micromanagement. Okay, we're going to go back to Highland, and then that might be where we get to. Okay. Okay, this is sort of unbelievable. Okay, we are making progress. Slow but steady. Okay, so here is Amy with her sugar and other things. Okay, so she's almost to Old Town. So when we pick up in the next episode, we probably will be looking at Amy and looking at those new today tasks and starting to tackle some of them. So I look forward to seeing you then. Hope you've enjoyed it. Give me any comments or feedback, whatever you'd like, and would really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe as well. And we'll see you again next time on the Pennsylvania and Berwind.